Well, it worked to our advantage because we were very skeptical of it from the beginning. We didn't really think that Dale or I had the what I like to call the MTV wounded junkie look that seems to be so popular with those kinds of people. Because I honestly believe if Kurt Cobain would have looked like Fat Albert, nobody would have given a shit about him or his music. You know, I mean, the songs are good. They're good, but that has a lot to do with it. They're certainly selling an image at that point, and I think it's very fortunate that that we were somehow associated with all those kinds of things. But in the end, it's ultimately a tragic story because Kurt Cobain's dead, you know, and I don't have a whole lot of good things to say about any of that stuff, you know, as far as that's concerned, you know.
About the recording experience?
About that whole Nirvana, all those kinds of things happening.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's just a bummer, you know, essentially. Well, honestly, I would rather have all that stuff not happen and have him not be dead, you know. That'd be much better as far as I'm concerned, because, I mean, it's just a drag. It's not good. It's just not good, you know. I mean, there's just nothing good about that. Nothing. To me, you know, you soldier on through these things. Tragedies happen. There's nothing you can do about it. What do we do? You know, what do we have to do? Well, I never dreamed of any of that kind of stuff happening in the first place. So it wasn't like I thought that I had anything to lose from the beginning. Playing music to me was just something that I did that I really wanted to do, and I never had any ideas that it was going to be an ongoing, long-lasting thing. I knew I wanted to do it for as long as it would work, and I just never thought of it in terms of global level or millions of records sold or influencing a type of music or any of that stuff. I just did what I liked. You know? Essentially tried to make music that I didn't feel bummed out about, you know, or embarrassed by, you know. And so then when the Atlantic thing came up, we more than anyone were more surprised that would happen. And a lot of people have said that, well, the only reason you guys got signed was because Kurt Cobain. Well, that very well may be true, but what about all the rest of these bands that got signed? You know, you can't really fault us for that, you know. So we went into the whole Atlantic experience with a very thick skin, as far as like not really working, and thought, well, we'll do it under the right kind of circumstances. And interestingly enough, when we got our contracts from the major labels, at the same time we got a lot of contracts from a lot of bigger indie labels, hip indie labels, who then were interested in us. Which I thought, well, that's really nice of you now, considering that we would have happily signed contracts with you a long time ago. Where were you then, you know? So no, we're going to go with the biggest label. We thought the ironic nature of a band like us being on the same label as Led Zeppelin, Rolling Stones, and Aretha Franklin, that seemed like a good place for the Melvins to be. You know, I'm not going to cheapen what I do by going and having it be smaller. I want it to be as big as possible because I've always believed that our music is good and should be available to everyone and isn't part of an exclusive club, but should sell millions and millions and millions of records. It should, but it doesn't. Why not? Because the world's not a right place. And that's not how things work. So I'm at home with that and understand that. That's not a big deal. So we went into it thinking that we were going to do one record and it would all be over. So we had the kind of contract that we wanted. We delivered our records finished with the artwork completed. And we're really happy with that whole thing as far as that. They, surprisingly to us, wanted to do 3 records. So that was kind of weird, you know. So we did them. And there's 3 of my, you know, I really like those records, you know. But I'm not, if I could do that same thing again, I would do it. Under the same circumstances, you know. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.